Hey everybody, this is John, the Garage Chronicles, back with another video, and we are doing a part two of understanding the life experiences of a middle-aged Black bisexual man. And Chris is my guest again, and we are going to pick up. The first time we did a live, but this is just going to be a more in-depth recording of different topics that we didn't cover in an extensive way during the first video. So, as a reminder, Chris is a 45-year-old Black
44.
bisexual. Well, he'll be 45 very soon. So I don't see what difference it makes. I'll be 55 in May, so you can call me 55 now. I don't care.
Okay.
I'll be 44. Sorry, and then middle aged. So he's middle aged Black bisexual man, and he resides in the state of Maryland. And again, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So, and I am a Black gay man who is 54. I'll be 55 in a couple of months. So, we're just going to jump right in. And the first thing we want to dive into in a more in depth way is Chris, how did you and when did you discover that you were bisexual? How did that awareness come about?
That came about when I was about a teenager, is on it. And just, look you guys and looking at women and also was and finding them attractive, both of them
Mhm.
on it. And I was like, huh, oh, on there. And, or on it where, a lot of guys still still to this day, or straight guys, don't like to say if another guy, they might say, oh, that looks nice, but it was not just but I was attracted, and and even in something like sexually attracted
Mhm.
on it. And and at first, for a long time, I wouldn't acknowledge it on it, because part of it was how I was raised. I talked a little bit about that, but on it, and even when I was in the military, for a long time, don't ask, was don't ask, don't tell on it,
Okay.
which that didn't get repealed till 2010, 11 time frame.
Okay. So as a teenager, like high school, and then maybe going into the military, did you, when you said you didn't acknowledge the bisexuality, did you only date women during that time, or how did that manifest?
That manifest at that time. I yeah, at first I secretly well, screw it. Went ahead and I had sexual relationships with men
Okay.
on it. Didn't do a lot of dating at that time.
Okay. Did you meet these other men like in the military, or how did y'all meet?
I met back on it, honestly, on Craigslist
Okay.
on it.
Okay. So, so is there anything else you want to say about discovery of your sexuality?
Uh, Discovery of it was, honest. It was, damn it. I hate when this happens, when I draw a
Yeah,
blank.
this is your moment because, as I've told the audience before, I'm not bisexual. So
On
this is your moment, and to tell us about your experience as an openly bisexual man. So this is all about you.
All right.
So,
Just mainly, it was like it didn't like in a weird way. It didn't feel weird, you know, and like I did enjoy it,
okay. Well,
and
one thing I always wanted to ask is how, because I mean, I know I am 150% gay. So
right.
I've always wanted to be with a man. So, how did that duality feel? I guess is always what I wanted to ask. How does that feel, being attracted to both men and women?
It honestly, it just feels it's gonna sound, it might sound a little bit like normal. I was on it. It's like for me on it, like I don't feel like a major difference. You know, it's just, I guess at the main time is you're being with another human being that you
Okay.
feel, you know, that you feel comfortable and then you feel that you want to go ahead and be with on it.
Okay. So, if I understand what you're saying, the bisexuality, it manifests in that you're just attracted to a person regardless of whether they're a man or a woman.
Correct.
Okay. I just want to understand, and also for the audience to understand. Okay, very good. So, now I want to get into the meat and potatoes as much as you're comfortable about your past relationships, like relationships with men and women. How did you meet? How was the relationship? And if the relationship ended, how it ended, the whole 9 yards.
Well, I can talk about the longest one I was in, and I dated a young lady. Dated for 8 months from it was 2014 from no, actually not from March of 2014 to December 3rd, 2014 when it ended. Uh, but to go ahead and backtrack a little bit, originally met her back in 2007 when she was in Hawaii, and when we met, she was she was about to go. She was about to leave. Like literally, I met her, and like literally a month later, she was transferring. So
Okay.
we continued to talk, and then kind of started saying, and I told her I liked her, and she said I liked you too, and it was we kind of like the normal when you meet somebody and they're leaving the next moment you're like, damn it, why didn't we? I saw you all the time, never said nothing, and the years that went on, and then we would still talk, and we kind of still connected through Facebook, and literally around late 2013, early 2014, we started really talking and really it started to heat up. And at
Okay.
that time, she was living in San Diego, California, and I was living in Bahrain.
Okay. Now, the different locations you talked about, was that both a part of you all's military service? You were
Correct.
stationed in those places? Okay. Just wanted to make that connection.
Correct. And I ended up getting out. I got up one time and just it's like like to tell people I was laid off from the Navy. That's one way of putting it
Okay.
on it. And I had gotten out, and we were talking, and ended up living together for a while.
Okay.
And what happened, unfortunately, was we made ourselves miserable. We rushed into it,
Hmm.
and to the point where she developed vertigo, and I lost 25 pounds of stress,
Okay.
and that's honestly what led to our breakup
Okay.
on it.
So, was the stress caused by the cohabitation?
I, I would say so. It was cohabitation. Plus, she had a daughter,
Okay.
and her daughter was 5, and she felt like she was left out, looking back on it, and this is my fault because originally I went ahead and said I was going to do it gradually and gradually to be kind of gradual. And
Mhm.
instead, I went like a damn riverboat gambler and just said, "Fuck it, let's just roll the dice." And
Mm.
and it backfired miserably.
Okay.
And I had friends and family all told me, "Do not go ahead and move it in with her." And I was like I just said, I basically 99.9% relationships don't last anyway, even when you try to do everything textbook. So I went ahead and did that, and
Mhm.
it blew up in my face. And then after we broke up, and we still talk, we're still friends, so we don't on it. And she later told me all her friends and family told her the same thing
Okay.
on it. And the other part of that was at one point I almost thought about going back, trying to start it back up again.
Okay.
And when I went and asked her, she told me she was married, and this was like a little over a year later.
Mhm.
And I'm like, kind of like my eyes got wide. Married, like, wow. And I remember the conversation plain as day vividly. She was like, she went defense attorney on me. She's kind of like stayed like, I say, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Let me ask you one question. She said, okay, what's that? Are you happy and do you love him? She said, yes. That's all that matters on there. Because, like, I'm not going to be going ahead and like playing a competition and on there because we can go ahead and go into that one because it was another. This one never did become a relationship, but for a while, I almost dated another young lady, but it felt like, in a way, I was kind of used as the, the person that was basically was going to go ahead and which it's a weird way of describing it. You've kind of been in where the person is in a bad relationship. They hate the person. They tell you how much they like you, and you're ready to go ahead and make the move, and she wasn't ready.
Okay.
That's the best way uh, to put on that one. The next, the last relationship I've been in, well, dating relationship on it was this one lady I dated, and that was like for like 4 months.
Okay.
But what broke, she started to get like really slow, like possessive vibes.
Mhm.
And one of the biggest things on it is, like I tell people, this ain't a dictatorship. I
Mhm.
am not going to be. I'm not going to be going ahead and telling you where you can't not, And what the one of the big things was there was, and this was a long distance relationship too. So she was in Virginia and I was in Washington State,
Okay.
and she was like, "Well, there's this party. I got,
Now, how did you meet her?
I went to high school with her.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Yeah, and I should have said the other lady that almost I served with her, and when we both when I left, that's when on that. So on this one, she was like calling and she was like, "Hey, I want to go to the party. I want to go to the party." Well, no, not go. She was talking about this party. She just kept talking about it, and I
Mhm.
was like, well, "Why don't you go? What do you mean? Why don't you?" But there's but I was like, "You really want to go to the party? Go to the party." And I said jokingly, like, "You ain't taking anybody home with you, are you?" And she started laughing. Well, no. Then go.
Okay.
Like, that's one. Like I said, I'm not a dictator. I don't want to. on it. I saw what my mother went through with my father. If my mother was in the bathroom longer than what he thought she should have been, he thought that my mom snuck some guy in there. So I'm like, I told myself and take pride in myself that I was never going to be like that to someone. Because if I have to be like that, then I'll leave. It's not worth it.
Hmm. So, can you share any relationship that you've had with a man?
I've never been in a dating relationship with a man on
Okay.
it. There's honestly the last I had sex with, I actually wanted it to go ahead and take it in a relationship because I really thought I connected with him really well.
Hmm.
But but he didn't want to.
Okay. So, why do you think you have not had a relationship with a man?
I think at times I think I didn't try. I didn't think I tried to connect emotionally. It was like whenever the guys that I did try to, it was something that like a warning sign, basically something a red light. Like everything would go well. I told you the one guy from Carolina. Uh, he was just he gave off too much like possessive vibes
Okay.
on it. There was another guy from South Africa. We're talking literally the very first conversation, and he already said, "Oh, okay, our date day is Sunday." What? Wait a minute, what do you mean date day? Wait a minute, we've only talked for like 5 minutes on it, and I guess too, I'm the type of person that I like. I like buildups. Like I feel more comfortable with things when a little slow and then up to it. If it goes full throttle,
Hmm.
I'm uncomfortable. It throws me, you know, for a complete loop.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this question. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Uh, do you think you are commitment phobic? I mean, where you don't want to jump in. One thing I can say about friends of mine who've had dating experiences with people from outside the United States, and I've heard this from multiple people. The way people move in different other parts of the world is not like American dating. Like I know someone who's dated someone from native African countries, and it's pretty much very uh, dating with a purpose. It's not about beating around the bush. So the guy who you said Sunday night is our date night, that may not have been him being possessive, from what I've heard. I've heard the people from other countries are just very purposeful with dating. They're not just they don't move slow. If they find somebody where they think there's a potential for a relationship, they just go for it. Because I've known people like a lady who dated a man from Korea, and I mean, after 6 months, he wanted to get married, and that was not in. And she told me that is not unusual for uh, his particular culture. They very much date with a purpose. Same thing with friends of mine who dated people from African countries. Like if you're dating, they don't expect for you to be dating anybody else. They're like, we're dating. So maybe, do you think you were commitment phobic? I'm just trying to, I guess, understand. You've had relationships with women, but not with men. So is some of that commitment phobic, or do you think being with a man in a relationship maybe subconsciously was wrong, or why do you think you have not
I
committed to a
think
man?
maybe that's actually a good question, honestly, because I've never been asked that before and never really
Okay.
even thought about commitment phobic.
Hmm.
I guess part of it too for a long time was on it where subconsciously it's like being with a man and thinking about it at times. I guess in a certain degree, for a long time, I would sit there and say subconsciously. Um, I think part of it for the long, I think another part of it for the longest time was dealing with family pressure on
Okay.
it.
Can you talk about that? What pressure did you feel?
Um,
And how did that stop you from being committing to a man in a relationship?
just family members being just being nasty and constantly browbeating and
About what?
about being with a guy and how that goes against the Bible and you're going straight to hell. I mean, on it. And yeah, and it was, the one thing that, we both kind of, we probably have gone through it as well. They tell you over and over, your family, your family, your family, your family. And no
Mhm.
matter what, they're your family, no matter what. And, you know,
Do you think that the men that you did date, would they complain about this dynamic that, you're not willing to take this uh, to another step or where it's an established relationship?
they probably, well, I know one in particular would have.
Okay.
I,
So there were men who wanted to
yeah,
and be in a relationship with you.
yes. And that's
And
something
so,
I,
and you were not willing. I want to be clear about what we're saying. You were not willing to be in a relationship with them.
at that time, yes. And that's something I kind of look back at, what the old saying goes, what if, you know, so
So how do you feel about that now? Are you willing to be in a relationship with a man now?
yes.
Okay. Are you willing to commit now? I mean, and I hate to keep my foot on your neck, but that's just the
Yeah.
vibe I'm getting.
Yes.
I understand what you said about the man in South Africa, but like I said, just dating in different parts of the world is different, especially because certain countries, their life is structured differently.
Right.
Where like they're graduating from high school before the age that we would graduate from high school, so they're a little more advanced. They're moving on faster in different parts of their lives. Because I had a friend that I worked with from India, and he said he got pressure from his family. I think at the time he was 20. He said usually once you graduate from college, get whatever education you want. He said both men and women. He felt culturally in India, it was like it's time for you to get married and start a family and then start building a life. And he felt that pressure. He said for men, he said women it would start as soon as they got out of college. For men, at the most like 25 you're expected, and at the time he was 28, and he still was not dating someone that was going to lead to marriage, and he was getting pressure from his family, but he said that was cultural from India. So like I said, different parts of the world, the dating dynamic and marriage and relation is different
Yes.
than the United States. So that may have been some of that from the South Africa part. From what you told me, I don't feel like he was being possessive.
I guess I shouldn't say with him he was possessive. I think it threw me off.
Yeah,
And
I wasn't in the situation, so I can't say that definitely. But from the one thing you told me, I don't know. I'm not sure if that was possessive, but you were in the situation, not me. So
yeah, so that I guess I shouldn't say that. I should say that it just kind of threw like, huh, and it kind of like on it. But yeah, and that the other. I was 20. Was I 20? I think I was 28 when it was. And he was 10 years older than me, and he wanted to.
Okay. Is this the guy from South Africa?
No, 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 no. No. He wasn't from South Africa. He was, matter of fact, he was in the army.
Okay.
This was back in. Well, like I said, I was 28. I just said that.
Yeah. It's no fun. No. This channel target audience is the middle-aged set, so
Yeah,
we all have lived at least to the midlife point, so
but
uh, go ahead.
I just want to say, but you live and you learn.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the topic of more in-depth discussion about biphobia, specifically that you've experienced from gay men as a bisexual man. I think we covered in the first video more so what you have experienced from heterosexual women. Have you dated bi women? Have
No,
you dated bisexual women? No. Okay. So, have you dated other bisexual men?
no.
Okay. So, let's discuss the biphobia you may have experienced from specifically gay men.
There was one situation I was in where the guy basically gave me an ultimatum.
Hmm.
It was like, well, what are you? Are you gay or you're not? Well, I'm bi. And cut off all communication. Stop talking to me.
Okay. So, that sounds similar to your experiences with heterosexual women, then,
Yes.
where they are unwilling to date or deal with a bisexual man.
And the other, like I was saying to you the other yesterday, was like the other one was is like, well, whose side are you on? I was like, huh?
Did you ask them to explain what that meant?
I was, I kind of sensed what they figured was like. It was almost like I'm not gonna come home one day and find you with a woman or something like that. That's what that's how I took it as.
Okay. So that sounds like the idea that I've heard from a lot of people about bisexual people, that because you're attracted to both men and women, you can't make a commitment to one person, regardless of their gender, and just be with that one person. So, which I've heard, which uh, from my own perspective as a gay man, I've felt was biphobic because gay men could commit to other gay men, lesbian can commit to a
Right.
woman, and heterosexual people can commit to the opposite sex and not and still be attracted. Like I'm still attracted to other
Yeah.
gay men, but I can make a commitment to one gay man and not one
But
female.
that was
I think it would be the same for bisexual people. You can pick a man or a woman and commit.
and
So
yes, and that's what, and I would sit there and say it's like I'm bisexual, but that does not mean I can't be in a committed relationship. If I'm in a relationship, that's who I'm with, not okay. I'm already looking for the replacement. That doesn't look, it's not like that. It's not like, it's like when you get your car, you're already looking for the next car already. I said, I'm like, I said, it doesn't really work that way.
okay,
And I had a friend of mine who, understood, and she lesbian, and she's like, yeah, because at one point she was married, and somebody's like, well, how can you be married to this guy? You were like, just because I'm in a committed relationship, if that's who I'm with, that's who I'm with. It's like that does not mean all of a sudden, okay, get out, bye, and that is, but it I've gotten so where it went from it really annoying me in times, or angering me, to the point now I kind of laugh at it now in a weird way. I guess that's my way of dealing with it now, is I laugh at it about it, like, wow. And it's like, well, damn, y'all think I'm a fucking spy or something? Like, I'm just, on it,
oh,
on it. But
that wow. So do you your dealings with gay men, has that not wanting to deal with a bisexual man. Has that been your predominant experience, or do you find some gay men who it doesn't matter if you're bisexual?
That's been my dominance for me. That's what I've had so far.
Okay. So as soon as they find out you're bisexual, the gay man does not want to continue any type of relationship.
Yeah.
Not even just a sexual relationship rather than a romantic. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, just want to make that clear. Okay, so very interesting. So I guess that will lead us into our final topic, which is the isolation and loneliness that you may feel from hetero and LGBTQ communities. Can you talk about that?
Feels like I'm at. Sometimes feel like I have the bubonic plague. Uh,
Can
yeah,
you elaborate?
I feel it's it's like you get it from basically, but at times I feel like I get it from all sides. And granted, like I said, I'm not labeling everybody because obviously I don't know everybody, but it's like you get it from the women because like, oh my God, you've been with a man,
Hmm.
and then I get it from guys like, oh my God, you've been you're bisexual. That means you're still attracted to women, you
Hmm.
know, and yeah, at times I feel a lot of loneliness at times, and sometimes, uh, you know, even this thought has entered my mind is like sometimes I feel like, am I worthy enough to have to be in a relationship or anybody want to be with me
Okay.
on it?
Okay.
So I mean, it's like I don't. I know some people have had probably the worst comments on it. I hadn't had too many worse comments, but actions speak louder than words, and the basically just like cease all communication. You know, like basically that you don't exist in a way.
Okay. Very good. So, from what you said, you have not dated another bisexual person.
Correct.
So, since you feel biphobia from hetero women and gay men, have you considered finding another bisexual person who may more on a cosmic level understand who you are and where you're coming from? Maybe you can date a bisexual man or woman.
As of yet, I have not tried.
Okay. Why not? To me, that would be the obvious.
I mean, I know, and and I'm like,
Like,
and
date a,
it's like it's funny. It's like
you know,
I don't have a good answer. I honestly really hadn't thought about that till just literally just when you said that, and yeah,
because I'm thinking
honestly, but
if they're bisexual, they would
yes,
understand
they
on
will
where
understand.
you're from. So now your dating relationships. Um, have you primarily? I know you mentioned different ways you've met people. Has it primarily been like people that you're in close proximity to? Has it been online? How have
It's
you
been a
mainly?
combination of proximity and online.
Okay, so okay, that's interesting. I just thought because I mean, if you're meeting online, I would think I haven't done it because I don't actively seek out a bisexual person, but um, I would think online you could just say I'm bisexual and I would
I
know.
do,
And I want to meet another bisexual.
and it's
See
like
what.
honestly, so far, yeah, so far I haven't. So far,
So, do you think with the online, you just haven't connected with another bisexual person?
as of yet, that's what I look on it because so far, like I think I've even said before. So far, it's like I get. I get the teeny boppers. I get the 21s and 22s, and then I'm like looking like what kind of
Yeah.
like yeah. I sit there like then I start feeling creepy and shit. Like wait a minute, how old are you? Yeah, no, we can't nah. Um,
Yeah.
but
Those the 20 somethings, are those the only bisexuals you've attracted online?
so far 20 late 20s or a couple of 60-year-olds.
Okay. Very interesting. So, okay.
Because yeah, that's the weirdest thing. I've not met anybody in my age bracket. It's like, or even on it. It's been either super young or older, and I was like, huh?
Right. I've experienced that somewhat on the gay male side of things as well. And when I was online anyway. And in person too, because a lot of the social groups I belong to, the groups just skew younger, and sometimes there are only a few people in my age category.
Yeah.
So,
And I guess also too for right now, at least right now, with my work schedule is not the I shouldn't say the best in the world, but normally my works usually I work from Tuesdays to Saturdays. So Sundays and Mondays are really my only off days. And everybody, is recovering on Sunday and about to go to work on Monday.
yeah, because I typically work Monday through Friday, but I once a month I work on Saturdays. Like I said, I work in technology, so we do software testing once a month when we roll out releases or updates. So I have to work on Saturday once a month, but that's it. So
Yeah.
very interesting. Okay, but Chris, I want to thank you for your time.
No, thank you for
And
having me. And like I said, the last one, thank you for always making this really comfortable for me and make
yeah,
on it because it's kind of like in a weird, way. It's like more so I'm talking to an old friend than I am talking. you know.
yeah, and that's the vibe I want the channel to have. I don't want it to be is I guess what's the word, professional or whatever you want
Yeah,
to call it.
yeah.
Be conversational. So that's how I want it to be. But you giving us insight into bisexuality from your experience. And again, to my audience, Chris spoke to his own experience as a bisexual man, and it's his experience. So it's not to be extrapolated and applied to every bisexual person or
No,
every
that's also on it. I want to make sure
yeah,
I want to make sure that point gave like I'm just speaking for my dealings, not you
yeah,
know,
it's Chris's experience, and we're
and
proud to have him on here and can speak to the audience as a middle-aged bisexual black man. Because I'm sure there are other people who are watching the channel who may be a subscriber also who is in that demographic. So
yes,
thank you for your time.
of course.
And
Thank you
again,
for
audience,
having me.
oh, thank you. Yeah, and this is Nadraj Chronicles again signing off until the next video.